That's it to say that any decision we make today may change tomorrow. In order to have the best expert advice, we have commissioned
Supercoach 360.
If the time's going up, it's recording.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the show.
Oh, mate, 100%.
We need to find out why they think it's okay to say anything.
It's certainly one of the greatest challenges in the history of the game.
That's what they want to try and do. Megastar to megastar!
In this regard, we're leaving every option on the table.
Excellent. What was that, buddy?
Something special!
You know what?
That's not talent.
Supercoach 360.
The best way to handle these things is to stay measured, stay calm, live your life as normal.
Unless we start finding it off the people who actually just do it, it makes their little ordinary life feel a little bit better for that moment. Makes it cool. Supercoach 360 podcast.
Welcome back. Yes, welcome back. It's the Supercoach boys in the Caribbean Cage. Bit of a tribute to Maxie Walker. So it's the last week of Supercoach head-to-heads. If you made it, well done to you. No one that we...
boys.
All of us in the room have...
I think Louis still in his.
You and yours still... Oh, Louis! Well done.
the
Run the
grand
ball
final.
up, lad.
I'm in the final.
Well done, Louis.
I've got to say, top of the show, shout out Watto. Good work, bud. You pulled the Swifty on me. You could have captained Gus. He said the captain on Gus all week. He took it off, put it on Manu, and I thought I was home, but he also switched out Dewey for Jojo for Feeder. He beat me by like 40 points.
Watto!
Good work, bud. You gamed me. You got me good. I couldn't make the trade to sort of save and make up those points at that point in the weekend. I was gone.
Well,
So,
seen
credit
as,
where it's due, bud. Good luck in the grand final. Bringing it home for us.
Seeing as you've taken it straight there, the winners, or not the winners, but the competitors this week, the grand finalists in the 360 fish tank, Henry with How Good Is Golf, and Brad with Elite Thornberry, I think it was. Elite Throbbery, that's it. I can't even read my own writing. In the 360 alone without the tank, so Brad again with Elite Throbbery, and the Red Lions in James made it through to that one. And in the 100 or bust, where the big bucks is, Watto versus Scotty Scorpions this week. Massive week.
That's a massive one. Scotty's definitely a team to contend with. Like,
he's been up there all year, so...
And he nailed him last year too. Like, he's consistent. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Team with $500 on the line.
Yeah, that's it, eh? But good luck to all you boys this week, and anyone else in their head-to-head finals this week. Good luck with that.
Congratulations for making it all.
Yeah,
the
well
way.
done, everyone.
Well, it's been a tough year this year. Like Supercoach was for me anyway. You guys all done okay, but it was tough for a lot of Supercoaches who thought they knew their shit coming into the year, and it
More trades than ever. The boosts. I mean, that boost was a massive thing. Did you blow them all early, or like some people we know who pulled 1,600 last week and still have one up their sleeve?
I'd like to see a poll of the top 250 or whatever. See which strategy they went with, where they used their boost, when they used them. Did they save trades? Did they just go hard early? So I'd like to see a statistic on that.
Well, I can honestly say the boost. I was scared to use my boost. If you were telling me all year, just use it. Don't be, just get rid of it. Even like
Not just get rid of it, but don't hold on to all 5 until round 17
for no reason. Yeah, well that was the thing. There was times there where I consulted the group and everyone said use your boost, and I didn't. And that's the weeks that started just putting me behind, and yeah, and it was terrible. So. In all honesty, next year, if we got boosts again, I'll definitely use my boosts a lot earlier and a lot more strategically, and I won't be scared to use them. I think the week I ended up boosting, I didn't need to boost. I just used it to break the trend of hanging on to me boost.
Well, just going off one of our listeners that we speak to regularly, Big Ted.
Yeah, Ted.
He burned his boost early and got in a really good position. And then I feel he just got way too trade happy and just kept smashing those trades, where I feel he could have burnt those boosts, got himself in that good position, and maybe saved a few trades.
Just backed off.
Just to have some, because I think it's been 3 rounds now and he's getting out of trades, the poor bugger, and hating a lot.
He's toppling too, like he's falling slowly.
Yeah, his numbers are getting bigger.
So
Not
yeah,
his scores either, unfortunately.
but he did have a good strategy there, and there were times where he could have easily hung on to trades, Con, and we discussed this with him, and
he's like, I've come this far. It's got me this
yeah,
good.
I'm pulling the trigger, guys, even after advice. But you know what? That's the way he's played his game,
that's
and
it.
like, everyone's different, you know.
Well, I mean, look, he's learned from that this year, and we can learn from him this year and go, all right, maybe that's not. I mean, like given what he's been through, you'd be like, well, that's probably not something to do. But like you said, Con, if you can then pull back and plan out your trade strategy, you just sit for a few weeks and sort of see what happens, even if you don't, you sort of teeter around where it is you're sitting at that point. Those trades for end of season for head-to-head become crucial.
Well, just to use Teddy as an example in this conversation, cheers, Teddy.
Yeah, shout out Teddy.
But there would have been times in there where he could, if he strategically done this instead of just being so trade happy, he could have easily hung on to a boost or two even at the end there, and things could be different for Teddy, which could be different for everyone in their strategy.
We've got to shout out Timmy O'Connor as well. I mean, a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, he still had 5 trades and a boost or something.
Yeah.
For the final 2 rounds, which was.
But what was his ranking going into that? Was everything far beyond reach by then?
I'm not sure. I think
Teddy. He climbed up the leaderboard in chewing through.
That's
his
what I mean.
trades.
I'm interested to see if there's people that have gone reverse to Teddy who are now approaching that top 100 and coming home fast.
Hard.
That's where I was going with the whole Teddy thing. Teddy would be able to go back and look through his season and actually probably pinpoint the trades that he didn't have to use.
Yeah.
And he'll hopefully use that as a guide next year.
Well, I think sorry, Teddy, but I think he's brought in MannWho and Teddy. I think he's used like 6 trades on those 2, plus another 3 on Pappenhausen. So
he's burnt a few in that way. But yeah, we all had big injuries this year. Injuries was a massive thing. COVID struck a few times. Illness as well. So it was a big year. Do you want to go straight into Brad's thing, just so we touch heavily Supercoach?
Massive shout out to Brado, Hopper's finger. He did make it through in his head-to-head this week. Scored just shy of 1,600. There was some huge scores this week. Yeah, man. A top score was 17 something, like some high 17s. It was.
Roscoe got a 16 as well.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? There's some massive score. I mean, I lost mine with 14. So. Most popular captain option was Hines, so congratulations. If you captain Hines, good work. The other 20%, or around 20%, and at 20% also went for Teddy. Munster flopped with about 6%, so if you had money on Munster, sorry, you might not have made it through. Good work if you did. Onto the studs, Angus Crichton. Who would have thought Roosters edge back row is going to come through and score 6 tries combined? Insane. Nat Butcher picked up 4. Gussie picked up 2. So 161. Good work. Anyone got him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And brought you home strong, but you weren't still in contention.
Did nothing. I still only scored like 1,300 and something. So
whoa.
Yeah, I'm terrible this year. I had a poor year. But yeah, that's my shit. But yeah, I had Gussie.
What about you, Louis? You got you through?
No, I traded my second last trade about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I traded him to David Fafita.
Oh,
and I've been regretting it ever since.
Yeah.
Even though Fafita hasn't gone bad, but
Gus has gone better.
Gus has gone better.
Yeah, and
only this week.
Nah, more consistently.
He's got a few 80s. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like he's been pumping out the scores. He's been on that. Like
because I got DP as well. He got a 90 this week. I think he got an 85 last week and a 71 the week before. So
he's not doing terribly.
He's not doing too he's chugging along okay. I'm still waiting for that.
I saw a headline where they're trying to talk about moving him to lock next year. Any of you boys for that? You're jumping on if he does.
No, I'm giving him a couple of weeks outside Kieran Foran, a playmaker who's actually going to know how to give him some decent ball and create space for him.
Yeah.
I want to see what he wants to do outside Kieran Foran before I just throw him in the middle.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, for me, he's not a middleman. He's not. No offense to the bloke, his work ethic is
lackluster.
Not as big as a Tino or a Mayfield Waker or something like that.
I think Tino at lock's good. Tino's insane, man. Yeah, he's just.
His mode is massive. He doesn't.
I can't believe he's so young for the way he has led that team this year.
But
the Broncos were crumbling under Payne Haas's leadership. It's a lot to put on a young kid. You know what I mean? But he didn't have that forward leadership. I mean, he tried, but Adam Reynolds is what's turned the Broncos around, whereas Tino is what's turned the Titans around at this point.
Tino's effort, man.
But it just and nothing but every week. Like, he hasn't lost anything
What
since
do you
coming
mean turn
from
the
the
Titans
Storm.
around? Titans are horrible.
But yeah, I know. But like when sometimes you see him and he's like the only one out there trying, man, and he just consistently gets out there and just fucking tries. I like him.
Who are others that he's got in
well,
there?
I mean, Crichton and Butcher, obviously first cab off the rank. Dill Bags, you guessed it. Anyone jump on Dill Bags? I think you were talking about going straight to Mam to Dill Bags. Yeah, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it either. You know what? He's one that got away for me, Dill Bags. There was a good time to jump on Dill Bags, and I think he could have just played. He could have easily been his second six for the rest of the year, but then he got a bit out of reach, and then they had a bit of a form slump, and it was a bit of a scare to jump on. But you
Turning
know,
around. Jack Bird's in there, Nico Hines, Tautau Moga, Ultra Pod, tiny percentage, but absolutely killed it. I think he's killed it a couple of weeks in a row now, right?
well, you know what? Years and years ago, he was touted Acon like he was meant to be good, but he just gets hurt so much.
Yeah,
like,
10 years ago at the Roosters, we
Yeah.
had 4 ACLs.
Oh wow! Poor
yeah,
bloke.
he's just had
Arthritis,
horror
At
runs,
the
man.
start of his career, I think he done 3 ACLs in his first 3 years
Yeah.
and just couldn't get on the field.
I'm thinking of Moan that's had a couple of good weeks in the last couple of weeks before that.
And I think he was last at South, the last club he was at, and I think he even copped a knee injury then in pre-season or something like that, and we didn't see him on the field.
Oh,
He
poor
started
bugger.
Roosters, ended up Broncos, Knights, Rabbits, and the Dragons. He's
So
been
he's
his
bounced
journeyman,
around.
but he's sorry,
Maybe
dude,
even
but
Cowboys,
he's never played fucking 10 rounds of footy
No, he has.
consecutively.
Honourable mentions go out to Val Holmes, absolutely killing it. Must have centre wing at this point. Harry Grant, same thing in hooker, just absolutely killing it. Big Nas, Nelson Sofa Solomona.
Con will stop you there. What'd you say about Big Naz today?
I'm just disappointed that Felice Kafusi's back now and Big Nass isn't going to be playing on the edge runner of those little men.
Yeah.
He's been destroyed in the last week and a half.
He will be next year, though. He might be one to put in your little black book for next year, because he'd have to be next year with all their forwards moving on.
All right, well,
Nice
speaking...
juicy edge spots opening up for him. No, we'll get through my studs and duds.
No,
I do know you want to get to that talk of
Tarek
what we're going
Sims
to
is
talk
coming
about.
down.
What we're going to be doing next year. Is that where you're going to go?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question for next year, like, just going forward. It shouldn't be... It's not a long one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, set the timers, boys. Let's go.
All right, so next year, like I remember at the start of this year, I went in with some people penned in my head that I must-haves, and that sort of burnt me a lot this year, and it panned out the less I knew this year, the better off I would have been in some aspects of the game. Like I would have picked maybe just not the less I knew, but maybe if I just looked a bit harder, I guess. But sometimes starting with them premium guys at the start here, other than a Naif, obviously, or a Pappenhausen and that. But some of the second rowers that I started with, they were top dollar and they didn't start performing until round 10. And there were other guys I should have swapped them with, but didn't, obviously. But, there's a few things. So that's just the question. Like, are you guys heavily going in with what the year's finished with this year and what you've taken out of this year? Or are you going to start fresh with new strategies and maybe different structures to teams that you've had in the past? Or
John?
No, we can't just wipe this year completely and say.
But it hasn't
I'm gonna start
worked.
fresh.
But it hasn't worked.
But
Like
yeah,
that.
you can obviously wipe your strategy shit, but you're never going to pick every player right every single week. It's just not going to happen no matter what strategy you run with. You're never going to do perfect trades or start with a perfect team. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just like I understand it, like, but
I'm going to be looking back at players this year who have maybe had injuries or do like a bit more in-depth research of their starting average to their finishing average, why that contributed. Like,
Seems like you're talking about players that have, gone on this year and stuff, and we were chatting before the show, and you boys have a prediction about Tommy.
yeah, well,
Based on averages.
well, it's not really a prediction. It should be what should happen.
that's what he should be priced
Tommy
at.
averaged 61 this year over 7 games, so starting next year he should be averaged at a 61 price.
So we're talking
If not less, because he only played 7 games.
Tommy for 600.
Tommy for 550.
Yeah, about 600. Depending on
The discount and how
what they're
work
going
it.
to do with that magic number they like to call it, the how much a point's worth in dollar value kind of thing. So because the averages weren't this high this year, I'm going to assume that number will increase.
So it'll inflate all.
So yeah, players with a 60 average who would have started at 580,000 this year will start at 680,000 next year. Just because the averages weren't as high this year, but I think it shouldn't change. Maybe slightly vary, but it shouldn't change that drastically.
Salary cap, then percentage-wise, you might see dollar value go up. But so, like, if we're talking around 650, but the point is, we might realistically be talking about starting Tommy for 650, or starting Teddy for.
If they start him at $800,000 due to his pedigree, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fucking.
So let me pose this question to you: Tommy 650 next year, first pick or what?
100%.
Oh yeah, straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's side, right?
Yeah.
Because Harry's going to be 800, Teddy's going to be 800 at least.
And you just have 150k or whatever stashed for that first month just in case.
What's Pappy averaging? Based on
91.
91.
Yeah, he's going to
he'll
probably be.
Yeah, so
he's going to be the most
pricey.
expensive player. I think he's got the highest average out of players that have played enough games.
Yeah, that's it, and he's only played half a season.
Can I just take us
He's a beast.
back to the topic and ask Louis? Like, Louis had a better year than us, like overall wise. He didn't start toppling until the last couple of weeks. He was pretty well.
Oh, I've dropped 1,000. I've been hovering around 3.5 to 5,000 pretty much the entire season. And then I'm at my lowest now, which is about 6,100 or something like that.
So yeah,
we'll do that to you.
But so yeah, like, are you going to take in anything? Like, are you taking in much from this year, or do you look at starting fresh every year? And
see, I do take some from the previous seasons. Like obviously, you have your guns in every position, you know that. But then you also have, I'll be looking at maybe a Val Holmes or a Garrick now starting in the centres.
See, but Val will lose his duel next year. Garrick should keep his, hopefully.
yeah, Garrett,
He played enough, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
definitely played enough fullback.
Even if Talakai can hold his position,
He'll hold his
even
still
maybe
too.
a Talakai as well.
He hasn't played in the back row. He's pretty much only played centre.
I think you've only played a couple of back row games.
Nah, man. He's played
No.
centre.
Right.
They've brought in other back rowers. Yeah, well, that's it. He's played.
I
that
think
forward
I think
role.
Cotter's played enough couple of games at 13 when Lolo was injured to keep his duel.
He'd be
Yeah.
handy in the second row as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll get him hooker, but you'll definitely get him front row, second row.
Oh, so he might. Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. There's no way
Yeah,
he's
no,
getting
you'll
his
get
hooker.
front row, second row.
Nah,
No, he hasn't played no hooker.
nah, that's it. Jules are going to be real interesting next
It,
year.
it's but you know what? Where the
I like the fact they reassessed Jules
yes,
now.
once it goes, I think it was 8 rounds. It went 8. Or was it no
6
6,
rounds.
6, 12,
Six,
and 18,
yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. So
Which is-
next week there'd be, or this week there'd be another dual upgrade if there was one coming. You know.
Well, yeah, it is.
But-
Round 1 next year.
Yeah. So yeah, there's duels out there. Hopefully we keep a couple because it does make it hard without the duels. You know.
Yeah, because you can't think of anyone who's really played in varied
Like,
positions
you
this year.
Drinkwater fullback 5'8" gone. Nico fullback's gone. Val fullback's gone. A lot of the forwards, Tarpany, he's not going to be dual. Cotter, like I say, won't be hooker. McInnes won't be hooker. Jules.
Even your halves.
They're
You're
gonna
not
be-
going to have much dual halves. They've all
You
really
know
stuck to
who
their
you know
role this
who'll
year.
be a
The
half.
Roosters ones are pretty
Kieran,
much.
yeah, exactly. Roosters. Sam Walker should retain his dual.
You know, be a half juicy look in. Probably that Tanner Boyd if he keeps the 7 up there. Or they give it to old mate.
Who else is playing?
You reckon? Yeah, I'm just thinking because
It'll come down to who gels with foreign, really.
Yeah, I don't know. We're looking too far into the future there, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think we are in all of it. Jeez.
No, I was just honestly
not
thinking like
that. I mean, the jewels and getting like that bar.
But yeah,
Like,
well,
just
my
for me,
question was Turbo.
Oh yeah,
Before we get into jewels, you know.
Turbo definitely, man. Turbo, for me, if he starts the year and has a pre-season and shit, he's fucking walk-up start. We all know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what Manly loses and gains next year, but he's Turbo, mate. He shows when he's not there and when he is there. Manly's top 4 contender, or at least top 8. And when he's not there, they're fucking...
Not making finals.
Oh, that's their own fault. That's their own fault.
We're not getting back
But
into
yeah.
that, but-
Let's move along.
Yes.
So, duds. There was a few this week, unfortunately.
Suaalii.
Suaalii. 4,200 coaches bought him in and played him. 72 points scored. He scored 36, 37 maybe. Not good enough, but Nat Butcher scored 4, so he just didn't pass. He turned into Zoolander that night.
No, it's just that he didn't pass. Just
set up for him.
He had the lines. He was coming through like a steam
I
train.
think 2 of them were off kicks, and the other ones were just pretty much giving the ball, and he could walk over the line. The Tigers were just absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
It was disgraceful what they put out.
I saw some of the replays, and it just looked as if there was no effort.
Nah.
In that second, no, really, not even that second, even the first half. It just looked like they just gave up within the first.
When Gus crushed over for that first try, where it was just soft as, and they still had, I think, even a 2 or 3 minute overlap outside him, you could just see it was going to be a really, really long day for the Tigers, and they showed absolutely no resolve at all.
Nah.
Yeah.
I passed out half time. Was that fucking...
It was putrid.
Yeah.
I thought.
I mean, you knew the game was over. Just a question of how big it was going to blow out, or whether the Roosters were going to take their foot off the gas.
Bro, when I woke up with 70 points. Whoa.
Yeah.
see, but I still don't even think that was the worst effort. I think the Broncos, who are sitting in the top 8, who are challenging for the top 4 6 weeks ago, getting 60 points put on them by the Storm.
Storm
that's
coming home strong.
That's a horrible effort too. That was
like
a schmozzle. I don't know what happened there, but
there's some teams out there that know how to ramp up for the finals. Souths, Storm, Roosters, all doing
4
it.
months ago, everyone had the Storm dead, buried, gone. They can't win nothing.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that Canberra can get there over Brisbane?
Yes.
Because I think that's what it comes down to.
I think Brisbane play...
They got a tough game this week, I think.
I think they have 2 tough games left, and the Raiders don't.
The Raiders have got
2 cruising
Tigers
ones.
in the last round, who queued in the rack weeks ago.
And
I don't know who the other game the
Might be
Raiders
Jimmy's
are.
last game, though, maybe.
Raiders have Sea Eagles this weekend.
Cheering.
Yeah, and
then
then
the Tigers. So they're winning both theirs. So if Brisbane drop one, if not both. But they only have to drop one because the Raiders will elapse that points differential.
Yeah.
Playing those 2 teams.
And Brisbane have the Eels this week, and then the Dragons.
So even South. South's got the Cowboys this week, and then the Roosters. If they drop both of those and the Raiders win both, they can jump them too.
Really?
Roosters are in the same thing. If they lose to the Storm this week and then the Rabbitohs next week, the Raiders can jump them.
South's our only advantage is that we've got a fairly big points difference.
That's me.
Differential compared to the other two teams.
If you and the Roosters
That's
win
the only
one,
difference.
you're clear of the Raiders. But if you drop both of them, I think the Raiders win both and they could overtake either of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That round 25 game at the new stadium could be everything.
Was that all the Brad write-up?
Yeah, there was a few more duds in there. Haas, same thing, highly owned, burnt many. Ronaldo.
Yeah, I brought him in.
Yeah, I got it on Con's hot word.
Yep.
He's going to go on a run, and he hasn't, so...
He didn't.
And could have kept Tass, who
I
I
blame
sold for him.
Talakai.
Still haven't spent Tass's cash. Still sitting there. Yeah, spewing. Kick out. He burnt me as well. Played kick out and Tongo, which bit me in the ass. Cobbo, after his massive week last week, backs it up with a 28. SJ, same thing. The SJ of old certainly is back because he scored a 10 this week.
No offense, but you're the suckers if you brought him in.
What? Did Breach Bowl stay on -1?
No,
Yeah,
he
he got
made
the
it to a 2.
Oh, upgrade.
So good work if you had Reece Walsh as your pod spewing. So he might be an interesting one to look at next year at the Bronx. So there we go.
Well, just
Yeah,
quick-
100% totally different ball.
I heard
yeah.
I heard you say something. I think I don't know. Maybe I just put it in there because we were talking Tigers game. But Jimmy Tamia, boys.
Yes, actually, I was just
Actually,
look up.
just on that, I've just updated it. It's just come through. He has just had it reduced for one game.
So
Oh,
he
well
gets
done.
free to
Well
play.
done.
He gets
He's
his
free
swan
to
song
play.
at Leichhardt.
Well done.
Well done, NRL.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work, guys. We were talking about that pre-show, and Jimmy's one of those blokes that he's been around a few clubs, but
You
he's
know
done
what?
his job, and he's played 300 games, and he's been there.
No, well, I agreed with what Paul Gallen said on 100% footy because me and Con watched it. Like, he was happy with the downgrade, but there was talks of suspended sentences.
No,
and-
that was just your bloody general manager's outrageous comments.
Oh, was it? Yeah, but you can't do shit like I'm happy that he got a downgrade and gets his game. For me, he probably shouldn't even have to front.
No, but I'm happy because I think that's the first
As long as he gets his
judiciary
final
result that's actually been right this year. So
They can't
well
take it
done,
away now,
judiciary.
eh? They can't take it away now, eh?
Nah.
Hashtag justice for Jimmy.
Because last time you did justice for Dale, and what happened?
3 weeks for Dale. 2 weeks for Dale.
So no justice for Dale.
Nah.
Just wanted to make sure before you said it, eh?
All right, yeah. Okay. We'll get Roscoe's thing up ready as well when you're ready.
That's it. Roscoe's done the team list twist. They're both up on supercoach360.com. You know the deal. Head over there for your Supercoach information notes.
And if you feel like you could do what the boys do, feel free to contact us and do some write-ups for Supercoach and have your stuff on the website. You never know. I'm not going to say you get picked up by Telegraph, but if it's good, mate, people love it. They eat it up. You know, it could be you that's giving out the good goss next year.
Yep. So, Ross Mann again. Big shout out to Ross Mann. He actually commented on the live earlier. He scored a 16.06 this week, but still didn't win in his head-to-head. It was all out.
Ouch.
Oh, rough,
With a
Roscoe.
16.06, unlucky, mate.
Who were you up against, and what did
Bloody
they do
hell.
to you?
That sucks, Roscoe.
Yeah,
Unlucky,
what-
buddy.
Oi, I'll
what-
call Stabler and Benson, bro. It sounds like you're a special victim.
What score did the other team get? Let us know. Bloody hell.
I'm going to say it was bigger than 16.07.
Where is it? Okay, so team list twist with by Ross Mann. Broncos versus Eels first game. Bronco Lee replaces Deleuze Hoyter in the centres. In the eel for the Eels, Makahisi Makatoa and Jacob Arthur replace Bryce Cartwright and Ogden on the bench. Panthers versus Warriors. Luai comes back early, replacing Semin.
Why would you bring him back early for? I just don't understand that. I know you want to get a couple of games under his belt before the finals. Surely one's enough.
Yeah, but, I mean, if he's fit to play, he's fit to play.
If he's good to go, might as well. JFH returns from suspension with Matt Eisenhuth dropping back to the bench. And
dropped
Jermaine Hopgood
That's
drops
all right.
out of the side.
That's all good.
Yeah.
That's hopping good.
Warriors. CHT replaces Dejan Arce at 5'8". Curran replaces Murchie in the back row, and Dynamis Louis joins the interchange from the bench.
That's that ex-Canberra forward, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a beast, bro.
Yeah, he's a bloody good player.
Yeah,
It was a
he's
good pick
monster.
up.
I think he's been the Titans. I think he's been a few places. Dynamis, hasn't he?
Mate, Orange.
Roosters. Canberra. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Louis. I mean, I get it.
My bad.
Moving on, Storm versus Roosters. Gonna be an interesting one. Both hitting form coming into the finals.
Who
That's for
wins?
sure.
This should be a cracker.
Who
Game of the
wins?
round.
Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
I'm going Golden Point filler.
And who wins it?
Hope it stays a draw.
Oh, fuck off, dude. Get off the fence.
Well, it happens.
I'm only going Storm because it's at home. In Sydney, I'd probably tip the Roosters.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go Roosters, to be honest. I reckon
Roosters.
I reckon
You reckon
Roosters.
Roosters will get
I reckon
Oh!
Roosters
You might want to
by
burn that jersey, Louis.
Supporters everywhere.
as much as I hate to say it, trust me.
About 30 people reach for their teeth cup then. What the fuck, Lewis?
There's a hat for Louis behind you. Just get your chuck it on, just for the week. You know what? If they win, you got to wear it next week.
Don't do it.
No.
Besmirching yourself.
No. I
Besmirching. Thanks, Teddy, for the hat.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to ruin the jersey look that much. Yeah. So Storm Kafusi returns from family leave, placing Kamakamika, who's going to the bench, and Tyron Wishart is out injured.
Where's Big Nels? Big Nels back at lock, or like prop starting.
Yeah. Roosters, Lindsay Collins and TKO return to the side, replacing Tyrell May and Goldart on the bench. And Momirovski comes back into the side with Drew Hutchison dropping out.
That's where they kind of do need Big Nels back in the middle. Because with that front row rotation of Jarrett, Hargraves, Lodge, now Collins added back, and then Takiaho, that's the best front row rotation in the competition, I think, in my opinion.
It's pretty epic, isn't it? Like, they're all big, hard boys.
There's no giving absolutely any of them. And Takiaho brings that little bit of footwork and ball play as well, just to spice it up to those other three who are just bollocking straight forward. So
best case scenario, you get one of them fired up enough for a sin bin.
And now with Gus and Butcher playing some good football on the edge, and Radley doing his thing at 13. That forward pack's scary come finals time.
Really is, eh? Like, Roosters have gotten into some form coming into the finals.
Just that strike in the back line on the back of that. Like, if any teams win it from outside the 4, this could be it.
Yeah, you reckon?
Oh, I got them Storm grand final.
Really?
Panthers to be upset somewhere along the line.
Really?
Yeah, by the Roosters in the prelim.
I'm the same. I've got a Storm Roosters grand final at the moment as well. I just think Panthers, they're not quite hitting what they were last season, to be honest.
I think we're looking at it from the last 5 weeks, because prior to that, they were tuning along.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm putting it out there. Like, they all come with that post-Origin blues. I think they're all over that now. Fish has had a nice big rest. Cleary comes back in the side. He'll be fucking fighting fit to get out there.
I think
Luai's back this week. Like, wait till we
the way they lost their 2 games at full strength this year, Parramatta rolled them through the middle. So come finals time with that rotation in that forwards pack, in the Roosters, I think they can roll through them, and the strike is enough to get them home with the points as well.
Look, their backs are scary, to be honest. You put Taylor May up against Suwali, I know who I'm picking to win. You know what I mean? You put To'o up against Tupou, or depends, but if it's an aerial contest, I know who I'm picking again.
Tupes.
Manu Crichton.
Yeah.
Teddy Edwards.
When you do put it on paper and literally match up player for player, you're just like, it is scary.
It's a scary team.
The Roosters is a very scary
They've
team.
underachieved where they're sitting on the ladder. They're definitely not a top 4 team.
The experiment of Kiri at 7 didn't work, but Sammy Walker in there is in fine form.
And they've swapped him back
Kiri
too.
At 5'8".
Kiri's played his whole career on his left, south, everything.
Yeah.
And then Robinson changed him to the right, put the 7 on for some reason, and now they've switched back and it's starting to pay dividends.
Yeah, it is. It's working. It's dangerous. I am worried about the Roosters. I mean, it should be a cracker of a game.
Have we still got more? Have we still got more?
If it lives up to expectations, it'll go close to being game of the year.
Oh, here we go. All right.
It will, yeah. It will. Was it them two?
Prime time, yeah?
Was it them two that used to take the game to Adelaide and it used to go to a point, within a point, like 3 times in a row and stuff? It's just they have great games. They've got history, man. A lot of history between the 2 clubs too.
Moving on, next game, Raiders Manly. Raiders have no changes. Manly, Raymond Tamalo Vega. Sorry, I butchered that. Replaces Alfred Smalley on the wing and on debut. Andrew Davey replaces Bullimore, who's shifted to the reserves. And Sipley starts with Marty to power swapping to the bench.
Doesn't matter. They've all given up.
Yes.
Well, not all given up, but you can
All
tell
but.
they're
all
fractured.
But. Yeah.
Sharks versus Dogs. Sharks, Talakai returns, replacing Connor Tracy at the centres, and Teague Wilton replaces Trindle on the interchange bench. And for the Dogs, Luke Thompson starts at lock, with Josh Jackson moving back to the back row, and TPJ drops out of the side. And Chris Patolo joins the interchange bench.
Seems like TBJ is having some more issues.
He's always going to be a fucking issue. He's a bit of a goose.
No, I think it's be the injury that kept him out a fortnight ago. Reflaring up, I could only assume.
I think it's about that time of year for what happened last year too, so that might be hard for him.
I want to get a haircut.
Moving on to the next game, the all-important game, South versus Cowboys, which really
Game of the round.
This could really depend on South's season right here.
Yeah.
I think Souths are going to expose the Cowboys. I like Souths.
Well, Paulo has dropped out of the side, been replaced by Isaac Thompson.
Poor kid.
Hard done, boy, mate.
Yeah, it's
He's been real good of late.
You know what? If you fucking hassled that kid, give yourself an uppercut.
Yeah,
You're a
100%.
fucking
Yeah.
grub.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for, like, bagging people and shit. You know that. Everyone knows that. But to fucking
To an extent.
carry on like that to a fucking young... He's only a young fella, mate.
Yeah.
You know, that's not...
He was
it's
also
not cricket.
targeted against the minor premiers all night, man. They were kicking to him all night.
Just after what come out in the media and shit after it, and people like
That's
yelling
it. Like,
shit out at the game and that.
Oh, yell shit out at the game, whatever.
Yeah, but no, bad.
You know what I
shit.
mean? Like nothing which you can't say around other people without them getting upset. You know what I mean? But yeah, when it comes to finding people on social media, you're a fucking grub. Don't be a douchebag. And that's the thing. Like, people should know better. Where do they think they can just go do that shit?
Go be a big man, turn up South training where they're all there, and then go tell this shit to Jackson Paulo.
Yeah.
And see how you go after that. If you want to be a big hero.
I reckon Junior Tatolo would throw down.
I reckon half of them would.
Junior Tolo, Tom Burgess, they'd all be charging in. I mean, I even saw on like some of the South fan pages.
Yeah, no, me too, bro.
Comments, and you're like, seriously? Like, this is your own team. Yeah, he had a bad game, but you don't think he does know that? You don't think he is feeling absolute shit just from the way he's performing, let alone.
He'd be feeling worse than anyone could ever imagine about feeling about their team losing, supporting it. Like, wake up yourselves.
Yeah, no, I was heavily disappointed because fucking social media was lit up, mate, and it was like, fuck off. Like, I could have spent the whole of Saturday trolling people. I really could have, just going, you're a knob, fucking. And I could have done that all day. That was just how much
Gladly too.
Yeah, that's just how much there was of it. It's like, far out. Like,
It's ridiculous.
It's you know what, at the end of the day, it's a game. Granted, we love the game and it's a sport and shit, and you want enthusiasm, but to threaten a kid's life and to tell him to go and do stupid shit to himself is just fucking not on, mate.
And I mean, and as I think Juzzy said just before, he's improved this year. He's come leaps and bounds from where he was, 1 or 2 seasons ago. He's really
100%.
improved.
He's had a pretty good year, and he's been on a pretty good roll. And they've faced some tough teams of late. He's had some tough games.
At the end of the day, these just flogs who couldn't make 3rd Division A grade, and they're like, oh yeah, no, he's fucking terrible. He's better than him. But no, you couldn't have been, or you would have been there, you shit cunt. So just shut the fuck up and you just watch the football.
Pissed up on mid-stream.
Spending his Saturday nights on social media trolling footballers, you fuckwit.
He is.
Get alive.
Yeah. That's it, like, don't you have something better to do?
Apparently fucking not.
I was just disappointed in it, that's all.
Yeah, I only mentioned flat out. I can't remember if it was on the broadcast. It might have been the halftime show. I think it was, it was on Triple M. Gertz was saying that fucking Supercoach half the problem, man. People are pissed off they lost their head-to-heads because they brought in a player and a player did shit. They messaged the fucking player as if it's their fault.
multis too, betting.
Yeah, well, that's it. Multis and stuff
Multis
as well.
is a big one. Yeah, but you know what? Especially the last couple of years, a lot of people have messaged Supercoach wise to players and shit, and it's like, fuck, mate.
Well,
because
they're the nuts. They're the ones that are a bit too heavily invested in it sometimes. Not even
not even that.
It's meant to be a game, boys. You're meant to enjoy it.
Like, you know what? I come on for fucking, 3 years giving bags of dicks to underachievers on the field and shit.
But that's tongue-in-cheek.
You know, and...
Yeah.
That's not,
Half
oh,
time you gave it
I'm
to
going to come
Gus
to your
or
house and kill you
administrator,
and your
coach, or
kids.
ref.
Like,
Yeah,
You
but...
give it to whoever deserved it that week.
I
Fuck,
don't
you
think
gave
I
it to the
ever-
institution a few times, CEOs.
Yeah, I don't think I ever took it too far, and I think there is a line. Like, you can say...
You know what?
Fuck,
Jackson
mate,
Paulo
like-
doesn't have to open his Instagram, which everyone's entitled to have their Instagram, because that's a way. It's a very regular communication tool amongst people his age. You know what I mean? It's how you message people. So he's entitled to have that. Whereas people choose to listen to us. If they want to listen to you, give out your bag of dicks each week because they find it funny and they might agree with you or disagree with you, that's their choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You're
didn't-
not going to Jackson Paulo and making him listen to you handing out the bag of dicks to him. And that's what these people are doing. But even then, yours is tongue-in-cheek. It's a joke. Oh, yeah, this happened. Pissed me off. This is why. You know, that not, oh, go kill yourself, you piece of shit. You fuck my multi. Like, get a fucking life.
Yeah. Anyway, so Jackson Paulo, so he's been dropped out, replaced by Isaac Thompson.
Team list is taking 25 minutes. Brilliant.
Saying that, I've ever since Thompson's first game, I've noticed he's a lot more defensively sound than Paulo. I didn't watch the entire game of the past few games that he was playing, so I don't know about the under the ball. But I know from what I saw defensively, he's just a bit stronger, bit bigger, bit of a stronger bloke.
Yeah.
Hame Sele will start in the front row with Tom Burgess coming back from a groin injury off the bench. Daniel Saluka Fafita drops to the reserves, and Nick Arena replaces Milne on the interchange bench. And that's it for South. Cowboys, Drinkwater shifts to 5'8" to replace Tom Dearden after he ruptured a
right,
testy.
John.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
in
the
training.
poor bastard. He's had a great year too.
When you
Fanny
really want,
got that song.
you really want to bust a nut.
Oh, she won't let me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Painful one, that one. The Hammer replaces Drinkwater at fullback. And Tom Gilbert joins the interchange bench. And that's it for Cowboys and South.
See, Tom Gilbert just come back from an injury, or what happened there? You got
I
a
think he
concussion,
just
didn't he?
Not 100%. Not 100% what happened to
Well,
him.
surely he didn't go from erosion to being dropped.
Nah, you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so.
But Luch has been a bit of
Tear away.
a bit of an X factor on that left hand side.
Yeah.
With
I'm-
Nanai on the other side.
I have to admit, I'm pretty concerned if they give Luch, if he runs a good line, he's going to be scoring. He's going to be scoring against the South defence.
Well, he both of them, they're both try scorers. Him and Nanai there. They can find the try line.
Yeah. Next one, Tigers versus Dragons. Ken Mamalo is out injured and is replaced by Junior Pelga. Luke Garner out with a head knock is replaced by Tom Freeban. And James Tarmow is out, as we know now, for only one game. And he's replaced by Joe O at prop. Manu Brown shifts to lock.
That's an interesting one.
Jake Simpkin will start at hooker. And Jacob Little and debutant Katoni Tautoga will join the interchange bench. I butchered that name again. And for the Dragons, Jack Bird shifts to centres and replaces the suspended Moses Mbai. Jack DeBellin moves to lock. Aaron Woods goes to prop. Francis Molo suspended and Andrew McCulloch is injured. They're both out. Jaden Sullivan will start at hooker. He's actually bagged a few tries when he's been in at hooker so far this year. And on the bench we have Jaden Hunt, Jackson Ford, Tyrell Sloan, and Tyrell Fuimaono. And that is that.
Did anybody watch that game on the weekend?
Which one?
The Dragons Titans.
No.
Did Bird play fullback at all?
Didn't.
Because I remember seeing flashes of it, and he was popping up on both sides of the field.
Don't know. I didn't watch. I don't think.
He scored well. As far as studs and duds are concerned, him moving to centre, I mean, that doesn't sound real juicy, does it?
Nope.
Yeah, so I'd be staying away. I wouldn't let that last week's score fool you if you happen to have a trade up your sleeve for some reason.
And last game of the round.
Hold on, just before we move on from that, because I'm trying to make team list go for as long as it possibly can. Bugger it, we've already interrupted a few times. Seems like we're talking about the Dragons, boys. Dally M. Is it going to be Benny Hunt? Or who else is it going to be?
Nico for me.
Oh, listen to both of you. Very confident. Explain your reasoning.
Only because I think Ben Hunt's had a great year, don't get me wrong. Killed it for Queensland, absolutely, but I just feel Nico's had an awesome year as well, and the Sharks just won more games.
Breakout year. I mean, first year as a starting player, he's done incredibly well. Positional change and all. New team. He's just completely reinvented himself, hasn't he? Well, I mean, he hasn't. You could see it at the Storm. He killed it at fullback.
And I mean, he's been Mr. Consistent throughout the entire season. He's been setting up tries. He's been scoring tries. Yeah.
I'm going to give it just a quiet shout to Cameron Munster.
You reckon?
Yeah, he done a little bit in the last fucking...
I just feel Pappenhausen in the first 10 weeks just took way too many points away from.
It. When Nico was scoring threes, Money would have only been scoring twos. Just because Pappy...
Yeah, he's had a big year this year, Munster. I just feel he's done a lot more than he has done in past years, which earned the points, if you catch my drift. So I'm just thinking he's in for a quiet shout, old Munster.
Yeah, you think he'll be up there in the race?
Definitely. For me, I think, anyway. Don't get me wrong, I probably do think Nico for me has probably had the standout year, if you really look at it. Like, I think no one's expecting the Sharks to climb to the heights that they did under a new halfback, a bit of a
new coach, new everything,
bit of a gamble,
changes,
you know,
yeah.
and he's just done fucking really well. And he's one of the ones, if you didn't get on early, it sort of cruelled your season, and he got away, and you had to wait. And
yeah, he'll find the cash. He was
one of
those players.
By the time you got him, it was everyone at him.
Yeah.
So
that's it. I was waiting for him to come down, and he never really did. He just sort of started strong and sort of stayed there. Even up until last week, still pulled around another 130, you know.
What about Nazai?
Yeah, done enough. Enough to dead set get a mention, but again...
I think he'll get lock of the year, but I don't think he'll get...
I think the Edwards work rate gets him at least a point every game they win. He doesn't.
Nah.
Fucking dude's a machine. No,
yeah, but so's Yo, and Yo has a lot to do with their attack and defence, but I think Cleary gets those 3 points most of the time when he's there.
It's like Lolo curse. It becomes expected of them.
Yeah.
So they're expected to do that every week, and then unless they go above and beyond, they're not standing out. But really, they're doing a 2 out of 2 point job every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just can't give it to them every week if they're not that X factor on the field.
You can if they're doing the work, but it doesn't work that way every time.
Nah.
Well, for 3 years there, Lolo, every time his team played, he was at least top 3 player on the field. But he didn't always get a point because he was just expected to run for his 250 metres, break 10 tackles,
offload 10 times,
and carry his team. But he didn't get his just desserts.
That was after he got his Dally M, but he got his Dally M from doing that first year, just being an exceptional player, mate. Like he was mint, like top shelf, and then
nothing changed. If not, he got better the next 2 years.
No, he did. He went on to do exactly the same job, but not as recognised because
he'd already been recognised for it. Like
he'd been Dally M for it.
The standard then it's set. So if you're not going above and beyond,
you don't get.
I do think Isaiah does go above and beyond though. He's constantly on the improve. I think he does attract a lot of those Dally M points, but yeah, they've often got to be split out.
Mitchell Moses, Dylan Brown.
Yeah,
they both had pretty good years out there. I think that's the last game that we just did.
Do we still have games left?
Yeah. Titans Knights.
Oh.
Yeah, one more. We got the game of the round.
Sorry, how can we forget?
Yeah, we got the true game of the round. This one's going to be entertaining. Titans versus Knights. Does this game really matter? Yeah, you know what? Let's do it anyway.
It's going to be a comedy of errors.
We got this dud player out for this dud player, this dud player out for this dud player, and this dud player out for that dud player, and that's about the wrap of it.
But then what about the Titans duds?
I think it covers both.
All right.
So Brian Kelly replaces Patrick Herbert in the centres. Jamin Joloffe starts at prop and Jared Wallace drops out. And Khaleesi Haas will debut off the bench.
That's Payne's younger brother or cousin, I think. Brother, maybe.
I think it's brother, because I think Jojo Fafita is David Fafita's cousin. I think it might be brother. I don't. And last of all, Knights. Frizzell and Daniel Fafita Saifiti return to the side, with Matt Croker and Jacob Saifiti dropping to the bench. And that's the game of the round wrapped up.
Woo. Sounds like it's a Sunday arvo nap for me.
I'll watch. Okay, so guys, back to Supercoach quickly, sorry. Pod plays, if you have a trade or even two left, like there are people out there, and you need to win a head-to-head or you just want to try to jump up the ranks, where are you going? Where are you looking at? Is there anyone you've got in mind for this week? I know, Juzzy, you have a trade in hand. Louis, you're young in the tradeless.
I'm tradeless, yeah.
And Con, you have a trade in hand. So is it like I know you just don't really care, but if hypothetically you won last week, is you in contention this week? Your opponents this week have a similar team, and you need to break it apart. Where you going? If you can think of anyone off the top of your head.
Is there any really juicy matchup this week? I mean,
you got the Panthers versus Warriors. That's a pretty juicy one.
So Kicks, if I've got him, I reckon I'm playing him this week.
Are you playing all your Panthers plays this week? Luai's back, so that left edge
that left edge should lock
find
together
some continuity again.
Tungo looks juicy this week.
Sharks versus Bulldogs. If the Bulldogs put out what they put out last week, and the Sharks
Nico.
repeat.
Nico's a straight captain there.
Has to be.
Or even Nakora. He could be one of those pod options that Berg was talking about.
Maybe Mulatalo could finally get a couple. Be nice. Although AJ will be out looking for tries, won't he?
Then I think you could even...
AJ. Oh, that was the South game. Don't worry.
Well, he seems to be just scoring tries anyway, AJ. He'll doing it in the tougher games. So I know he does have that low floor, and if he doesn't get tries, he's getting near with nothing. But he seems to be...
He can find the line almost every game. It's insane, man.
It's just, they've been doing it for years. Somehow, Souths manages to pull that line across. I don't know if it's because that left side's so quick or whatever, but they always seem to drag the winger in and just give him that clear passage. The winger never hangs out there, ever.
I think it's because we've got that, the issue that the defenders have on that side is that they've got Cody Walker. And Cody Walker, he could slip through the line and score a try, like he does, or he could shoot a bullet ball out to Alex Johnson, and Johnson's across.
101%. That's the big thing. Cody Walker's biggest threat's running, so they can't slide off him at all.
Yeah, you got to stay on him and tie him up.
Automatically, if everyone else runs their right line, Latrell sweeping out the back, space is created. Easily.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you got a pod, you got a pod play that you...
AJ's my pod, man, each and every week, like 100%. I got on him 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, haven't looked back. Dude's a demon, and he always finishes strong.
I'm thinking about trading out Katoni Staggs, and he's just been a thorn in my side all year. He's just been lacklustre.
Start of the year, he's so highly touted too. Everyone thought Katoni was going to go great guns this year, and he's just... he's showing glimpses, but that's about it, eh?
So I could go an Edric Lee or a Dom Young against the Titans.
Yeah.
I could see them scoring a double as a pod move, or Dave Fafita, or maybe even Brian Kelly coming back in against the Knights. I think there's going to be a shitload of points scored in that team because neither of them like to tackle. Dragons.
Oh, Dragons.
So, yeah, Dragons players are also juicy.
Yeah.
Like a Jack Bird and stuff like that.
Well, Jack Bird in the centres, I don't know.
Lomax, should kick a few goals at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a few options over the park to bring in this week, really, if you're looking to try to pod on.
Well, if you're looking at last week, and if Dragons are semi-smart, you could probably look at their back rowers, because going off last week, the Roosters back row scoring 6 tries. You
Yeah.
have to assume, surely, the Dragons are going to use their back rows close to the line.
Well, that seems to be a lot of space there. So, yeah, I can see that too.
Even if you want to go, even like a Val Holmes or a Latrell Mitchell, I mean, they're gonna score points if they cross for tries. Both goal kickers. I think either team could go gangbusters, score tries. Latrell, if they score tries, it's 90% of the time Latrell is going to be there somewhere. And Val Holmes, on his side, I think that will be the weaker side of South defensively, and they could direct a lot down that way. And so he might be able to rack up a few try assists going out wide or even cross himself.
Nice.
Okay.
How do you think, how's Val go with Drinky back at 5'8"? Does he still get as much good ball? Do the Cowboys attack as well?
Yeah, we're right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done that a few times, so he's actually one of those players that hopefully will keep his dual position next year.
He'll hurt the wingers more than anything. He won't keep his duel.
No?
Hasn't played fullback. MF started and then Drinky took over and it's been always Drinky since.
Really? All right, so you're happy with the pods we've given?
I think we've given what we got.
Okay, good stuff. Just on the opposite side of that, who would you sit this week if you had you got your full strength side of 21 or something? There's got to be a couple of guys that you think.
I don't think Suwali's going to go massive this week.
Yeah, he'd be a good one to sit.
Mam, I don't think Mam's going to go big.
Yeah, well, he turned into the AE last week.
Olam, right? I mean, like same side. Because Olam plays left, Suwali plays right. Yeah. Oh, Olam's going to teach him how to be a man. This is going to be amazing. Olam's been on fire the last few weeks.
Either that or they're going to just put high balls up and Suwali's going to jump straight over the top of him.
I mean, Roosters can try that, but that's the other way around. Like when Suwali's got the ball in hand, isn't attacking.
Bro, he's proved the last few weeks he caught the hits.
Yeah.
He been barreling up the
one of
field,
those
mate.
people in the NRL that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get smacked by Juzzy.
He hits pretty freaking hard.
I'll be honest.
So, yeah.
He'll barrel ya. Go Juzzy.
That's going to be interesting to watch because you know that battle's going to happen.
I can see Suwali rushing up and whacking Olam.
Really?
Yeah. Shooting out the line and taking him out. Because Olam's definitely
one
an
of those
attacking
sweet
threat,
plays,
bro.
Olam's going to just be whacked from Suwali. And you're going to be like, holy shit.
I'm
not saying Olam's not going to get him back, but...
I don't know. I really want to see that. I really want to see that.
I hope they just go at each other all night.
Yeah, good. Good battle. Yeah, so out of my team, Payne Haas I probably won't sit, even though he had a shitty score last week. I'll probably still play him this week. They need him. They need him more than ever at the moment.
Yeah, if they're going to make finals.
So he could be one to play. Now, Lolo I sat last week again, but...
He didn't do great.
No.
He didn't do terribly, but he didn't do great.
He got a 51 or something, but... Look, for me, if I have him and if he's in my second row, I wouldn't play him.
Nah.
Because there's way better second rowers that you could be playing. But if he's in my front row and you haven't really got much else, you really should have IPAP up there and a Haas or a IPAP and a Tarpany because he's back too, yeah. But if you don't, you got to run one of them. I'd sit Lolo again this week probably. So he'd be the one I'd sit if you have him. All right, so questions for the week, guys.
I'm sure there's heaps.
There's 3.
Well, that's more than the last few weeks. So.
I'm going to ask Brad Smith's question first. Brado, thank you again for all your work this year, mate. It's you and Roscoe and Timmy and Rickster did a couple of draft things early for us and Guy did a couple of write-ups. Cheers, boys. All right. Dunno. No, and the boys from the Discord, all the boys from the Discord as well. Sorry, boys. Pullman and Watto and I think Troy as well gets involved. All right, Brad Smith. Transfer rumours. Ponga to medically retire after suffering another broken vag. Knights fans rejoice. Addo to the Knights after being denied a chance at fullback. Bulldogs rejoice. Win-win. Would you have him as your fullback?
Oh, I don't think he's want to get rid of Addo.
No, I wouldn't. No way. I hope not. He's been pivotally now amping up for the year. If you catch my drift,
sure.
like
He's brought something to the dressing room.
yeah,
So.
I was very, very sceptical of the Addo signing.
Only if he was playing fullback as a winger.
But even I was still a bit sceptical. But what he brings enthusiasm-wise, he pumps the crowd up. He's just a character, man. And
I think he sets a standard too.
the game needs characters, and he's a character.
I'll just say, he brings speed over 40 metres that pretty much nobody else brings, which is invaluable in rugby league.
Yeah, it is. But he's also brought an enthusiasm.
Oh, 100%.
That I don't think...
He's infectious.
I don't think money can buy. That's it.
And I don't mean in a bad way he's infectious.
Well, look out, girls.
If you have seen or been in contact with Josh Addo in the last 2 weeks, go home, get tested.
You get a rat test. All right, Saxy, brother, Saxy. We love a Saxy question. So these fellas, a little bit unSupercoach related, but no, it's a question from Saxy, so it's a good one.
It's always Supercoach related with Saxy.
My dog has stopped hunting my leg. Do you think he still loves me?
No.
That is a genuine question. I think he's just transitioning. He's probably got like a child's play toy or something. Look out. Don't give your kids their stuffed animals through a bit, Saxy. Don't know.
Just wasn't doing it for him, Saxy, mate.
Change legs.
Stop missing leg day.
Have you shaved your leg? That could be another thing.
He didn't tell us why the dog has stopped humping his leg. Because if you've started humping your dog's leg, well...
Well, it was Joe Monahan's dog. You picked it up from the RSPCA that time.
so just throw some peanut butter on your leg there and you'll be alright.
So it's had a hard life, the poor thing. I think it even got passed around at Mitch's. Anyway, moving along. Last question. I don't know if I should ask it. I'll let Jazzy ask it.
No, ask it.
You reckon? I'll ask it, alright. Snowflake, can you guys hook me up some green? Slide into the DMs, lad. No.
Yeah, absolutely, bud.
But
Get
yeah.
in contact.
Again, guys, thank you for all your questions this year. Like, we can't do questions time without your questions. So it sort of adds to the podcast. So that's good, and we appreciate it. Any live ones over there, Louis?
We do. First of all, Shauno Veyrat.
Shauno.
He's been there all year. Good on you, Shauno.
We love Shauno, mate.
Always
Doggy
commenting.
supporter.
Shauno's asking, what did we finish on overall, boys? Pretty stoked to move up another 80-odd spots. Best finished overall to be 430th.
Oh, killed it, bro.
Good stuff.
We don't even need to mention ours because you've slayed us all.
I'm somewhere around the 20,000 mark.
Yeah, 18 for me.
I'm
18 and a half.
I'm in the high 25,000 and something.
So we're all
25,000,
garbage, mate.
128.
Louis,
I'm 6,100 and something. Yeah.
still way better than us.
So well done, Shauno, not listening to anything we said all year, mate. Just tuning in.
Shauno, can you come on the podcast for us next year? Because clearly you know what you're fucking doing.
But yeah, cheers, man.
Actually, also he makes another comment.
You'll make a few.
Still got Targo and May thinking about one or both might go big this week versus Warriors, but only have room for one.
Oh, it's a gamble. As Con would say, flip a coin. Because you never know whether they're going to bypass one and go to the other, or you just never know. It's one. It doesn't.
Shauno, for me, if you go back and have a look at when Luai was playing, you'll probably find the stats on supercoachstats.com probably. But you'll be able to do a comparison to see who's scoring better with Luai in the side.
I think you'll find with May did fairly well when Luai was there. But for me, I'd probably go Tungo because I think he's the safer option. He's going to get more.
Do they play early? They play first or second, don't they?
Friday night game.
Yeah, so yeah, you sort of just going to have to lock that one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be trying to dig a bit deep in the past stats.
But if you had to pick one right now off your head, Con?
Flip a coin.
As a Targo owner, I'm going Targo because I own him.
I'm going May.
All right.
I'm going May.
Yeah, I haven't got May, but yeah, I'd say Tungo because I think he's going to be the safer option. But good luck, bud.
Elijah Tippany. Again, someone who always comments.
Yeah, Get your tips out for the boys.
Got the tip in.
Actually, Tiffany's question is actually about Tarpany. I'm getting rid of Lolo as one of my 2 front rowers. Who other than IPAP is next in line? My opponent has Tarpany.
Yeah, that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
I would be too.
That's it. I think we just went over that.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone next level this year. He has chugged
He's
along ever since his missus sent that tweet to Ricky.
No.
He's just gone better and better.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it out there. Clem's not having a bad finish to the season. He's done all right.
Not only that, but
I
they've
think he's a tier down.
but Raiders have Sea Eagles this weekend as well. So
And they got, what, Tigers or Knights in the last round, I think.
Yeah, so you could jag and attack and start there.
yeah.
For sure.
Is this week Ashley J. Mears? Is this last week for overall also?
No.
Or
Nah.
just head to head?
Overall
head-to-head.
continues next week, but head-to-head finals this week because people get rested often in the last round.
Yeah.
So if you're right up there and you've got your head-to-head in the bag, right, and you've still got a trade, do you hold that for next week just to try to like pull you up the ranks a bit higher if you want to?
It depends where you are. I don't think so. I think you make sure you win your head-to-head over anything.
Yeah.
At this point of the season, if you're not in that top 1,000, if you're not vying for a key ring or glory or you know, like
Yeah,
or the cash.
I think even if you are, I think you still use that trade this week. I think you got to maximise the most out of that trade to get.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's going to be as many points on offer next week if you've got a bunch of
Well,
rests
that's it,
going on
you
anyway.
get the points
so
this week and next week. You don't just save the trade for next week for the sake of saving the trade because you've probably already got 20 odd plays anyway. So
What else you got there, Louis?
Gone through. Would you play To'o this week? My only pod.
yes,
Hold on, my computer started to reload. My only pod on my head-to-head.
Who's that
I
from?
would- sorry, Michael Takai.
Michael.
against Warriors, yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, okay. Ashley May Mears jumping in again. I'm 300 at the moment. 1 trade in 8 grand finals. Still holding Garrick on bench. Should I sell or keep for last week?
Well, his season's over, so sell.
Yeah. For me, look, depends what he like. If he knows he's going to score well this week and he's got a flush team, and if he does have a bit of coverage to cover next week in case of rest, then yeah. And if he's in cashies, if any of them 8 grand finals are cashies and massive cashies, yeah, I'll get rid of Garrick for whoever's going to be the best.
I'm selling Garrick no matter what situation I'm in. I'm getting in the best person possible.
yeah, it's good cash you could be using. May as well use it. What have
Sitting
you got to
300
lose?
overall.
What have you got to lose at this point?
Yeah, and that's it. Other than Michael Takai and the Smith star, Scotty Smith, just wishing their love and thanking us for the year.
Good luck,
Thanks,
Scotty.
boys.
Is that Scotty in?
No, that's
Nah, that's
Scotty.
Scott Gearin, not Scott
Yeah.
Smith.
Oh,
But-
good luck to you too, Scotty.
On that note, just want to say thank you to everyone for listening this year and just being a part of the Supercoach journey. Hope you've had a good year. Hope you're winning your head-to-heads. I mean, none of us are. We've all had an average one, and we've just gone over. But I mean, hey, you tune in each and every week, so thank you very much for that. We appreciate it, and yeah, hope you've had a good year. At least if you haven't, hope you've enjoyed it.
See you next week.
Yeah, well, no, there's like, got to think there's a million different content creators now. Like, there's so much Supercoach content out there. So, fucking
And
thank you for
shout out
hanging
to all
in.
those guys too, because it's like there is some way better Supercoach content than us. I mean, if you're listening to us, it's probably not for all of our Supercoach insights. I mean,
Oh, look, you know what? We started this podcast when there wasn't many podcasts, and don't get me wrong, Mike and Sabs and that, they pretty much were straight shooters like us, but we started it because you could barely get a straight answer out of, like, people higher up the food chain, eh? Like, you're getting fed a bit of bullshit here and there, which go one way and go another way, so we just wanted to start something that was our honest answers and our honest things, you know. We're sort of an open book, like, we just tell you what we're thinking. It's not that Con does the research more so than I do. I
I
just
love how Bergs is the one who's like, you know what, we just want to be straight shooters and come out and tell you what you do. How many times have we accused people of just straight out sangstring people because you're talking about irrelevant people to Supercoach. I remember my first season, man. So many people.
No, but he doesn't do that deliberately.
Yeah, I know, but
I just go on a tirade. All right.
He just gets excited. He starts listing players.
yeah, exactly right. And then sometimes then you're going through your team and they're the players you remember, and you bring them in, and then you just go, fuck.
I'll never forget the Bryce Cartwright moment when you were on the phone to me. He's like, I can do a trade like mid-round, man. I'm bringing in Bryce Cartwright. That had buys from Orson, couldn't reverse it.
And he did horribly. Yeah,
it was good.
horrible. How good's that feature, though? The being able to update trades and trade and reverse properly throughout the weekend.
Yeah,
that
it
is
good.
Awesome. Good on Supercoach for doing that. That and the boost. It has been a bit of a game changer. Curious to see what they bring in next year. Expecting a little bit more in the salary cap. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what they're doing.
Are we coming back next week?
Yeah, I think next week.
All right. Well, next week, guys, just have a think. I know it pretty much falls on deaf ears. I might throw it in the Podmasters chat, but think of something where they can maybe upgrade the app or add a different feature that will benefit everyone. I see a lot of like Glennon Tragics and Costa from Searching for Corey Parker talking about how you should have two separate teams. You should have an overall team and a head-to-head team. I don't know if that's an option that we like to. I'm just saying that's an idea that they spitball. You know what I mean?
And they're not running two email addresses with a head-to-head.
Exactly. You can do that.
Oh, I don't know, but
give me that.
I'm just saying, like,
I hate that built into the app, because what if you accidentally made the head-to-head trades you meant to make on your overall team and stuff? You know, if you try and do it right before lockout, you're accidentally in the wrong team because they look similar. It'd just get confusing. Well, I appreciate that, but I think there's a simple solution to that straight away, and that's just make two different emails. It's not illegal for you to have two emails. Do what you got to do. I mean, they're fairly organised people when it comes to their head-to-heads too, so there's no reason why they wouldn't be able to do it.
What they need to do is update the scoring.
Bro,
defense needs to be much more rewarded.
Oh, I do want to see a try saver. I do want to see when someone...
a simple one-on-one try saver where, oh, mate, would have scored
then,
guaranteed.
Underneath actually holding up that
ball.
ball.
You do get 3 points for that.
3 points
That's
is shit.
Yeah, 3 points.
But that's what I mean.
Enough.
A one-on-one where you blatantly stop a try, surely that's got to be worth 8 to 10 points.
Fuck 17.
Well, in my opinion, it should be worth a try because we all know saving a try is just as good as scoring one, but we know that's never going to happen. But like 8 to 10 points. And then the strip. Surely the strip's got to be 5 points. That's a game-changing fucking play right there. That's a huge play in the game. Surely that has to be rewarded. A one-on-one tackle, why can't we give 2 points for that like we do for a 8+ metre hit-up?
Well, I was thinking with the tackle, I was thinking that if you get up and stop them before the 7, is it 7 or 8 metres?
8+.
So if you stop them at 7.99, you get 2 points because you've gone
massive.
max.
Do all 4 people get 2 points?
At least 2 of them. Probably the first 2. I don't think. Did they bring that back? Because remember, third man in wasn't getting paid points.
Score the tackles and shit, bro.
Third man in wasn't getting points for a while.
I don't know how they score the fucking tries this half the week, so don't even start me on the tackles.
But
I agree with you there on the extra stats.
Defenders lose so much. Like
there's no reward for defense in Supercoach at all.
And there's little areas,
and that's half the game. You can't win a game without defense.
Yeah. There's massive areas to fix with defense. I've been put in the Podmasters chat since I've been there. That defense would be something I'd look at because it goes so unrewarded. Like there's so much that goes on with your defense. You know,
no matter how spectacular whatever you do, you get 1 point.
Do you get points
for a tackle?
An intercept?
I think you get 5 for an intercept.
Yeah, all right, sweet. Well then, definitely things like the strip and stuff should be rewarded and around the same mark because you're right. Those are game-changing moments. They can change the momentum of a game in a heartbeat.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's probably 10 more jobs.
Well, Kim Smith in the grand final against you, and he stripped that ball off Crichton.
Yeah.
Won the game there and then.
Yeah.
Massive.
Look at Crichton.
No Supercoach points.
Intercept. Won the game right there and then. Like, you see it.
So, man, like, it should be rewarded.
Yeah, so that's something they should look into. And it's just more points in the long run because you got to think of your forwards that do get gypped. You know, and they're fucking out there busting their ass and they're chugging out lows because there's no reward for getting up, being that first even if it's first initial contact that gets that 2 points at the 7 metre mark, you know.
What if chasing down like an obvious try, like chasing down a line?
Well, that should be a try saver.
Yeah, right. Like, because
8 to 10 points at least. Like,
yeah, there is, man. There's goes unrewarded for a lot of them, and we rely heavily on our attack.
I know it's gonna just put the fullback scoring even further in front because they're usually the ones that are making these one-on-one try-saving tackles and etc. But
not all.
It should be rewarded. That's right.
Not all of them can do it, but either. So that's the other thing. The ones that can do it should be rewarded for it. You know?
I mean, you've seen Reece Walsh the past couple of weeks get absolutely monstered.
Yeah. Whereas
if you have your Latrells,
KP
would hold them up and just throw them across the line. Yeah.
There's heaps, man. There's heaps the game could look at that way, especially with scoring. For me.
So any other changes you got? Give us your bright ideas. Throw them in the.
Well, you have a think about it over the week as well. Like, you have a think about it, and you guys that are listening through the week as well. I'll throw a post up next week. We might do it on the weekend when everyone's got some time. Just what changes would you make to Supercoach for the better, or even take things away that they might go to OTT on? You know.
I've always thought VC get 1.5 points. Attack that makes the VC option rather than just chucking it on.
Just making it a loop option.
Making it a loop option or whatever.
A smart pick.
You have to actually, really think about where you're putting your captain and where.
Can you still do a loop with
but
VC?
Remember, your VC is there in case your captain doesn't play, so you don't lose out on the double points. So
we do it a bit back to front.
You can still have it like that.
It would eliminate the loop.
Well, no, but you need that safety net. I think you sort of need that there because what if you've got Teddy as your captain in the 6th game, and then he goes down in the captain's run a day before, right?
Yeah,
and you sort of need that option because it's completely unfair without it. It's just that a side effect of that is the ability to run the loop.
Yeah, true. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's just heaps to look at, and there's.
I like his idea though.
There's
the ability to maybe put something like a captain on a player.
A joker round.
Yeah, that's it. It's sort of like a joker where you get 1.5 times whatever they score.
Your captain scores double.
Yeah, you just pick the premium round through the year and have a joker. You play your card.
Could you imagine if you could throw a joker and then a captaincy on them, so you get 1.5 times then doubled? You do that in the right player, that like game-changing shit. Like, would see 2 grand scores.
And then you'd have you'd have 15 people who did it for someone like Gus on the weekend and throw absolutely monster scores.
Yeah, just shot up 60,000 places. It's like I was only in 48,000.
But no, like, don't get me wrong, some really clever people listen, and everyone's got good thoughts, you know. And it'd just be good to see what you guys were thinking out there, like as coaches.
I'm curious as to what people's ideas would be on changing the game for the better. Or for the worst. I'm just curious to see what your idea is.
And if you've got time,
the game, what would you do?
If you got time, tell us how you do it. You know what I mean? Like, how you go about it. Like, there's so much things to do. Like, anyway.
Well, I'd probably go back to the old days where the tries and try assists and that were maybe worth a little bit less to bring the forwards back into the game a little bit more. Because the way the attacking stats are just outrageously scored these days. You got to load up on those backs and shit where the forwards don't hold as much sway. Back in the day, the forwards were the premiums, and then the backs had to get those tries to keep up with them.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it a little bit more balanced.
Yeah. Well, that was it. Who were your first pick when we played, mate? It was Corey Parker or Gallen, because you couldn't really start with both.
That's it. And then, I'd like to see that a little bit more balanced where it's not an easy, I have to pick a fullback first or a halfback first, or I had to pick a Gallen or a Corey Park first, but where it's
straight up
in the
middle.
middle.
Pick your spine before you do pretty much anything else.
But that's what I mean. That's where I'd like to see it balanced, where maybe front row is just as valuable as a 7 or a 1.
I think your back row is your most valuable position because the sort of disparity between an average back rower versus someone that regularly jags attacking stats and has really good base, like a Guts. Like,
IPAP.
Yeah, there you go, right? But for me, IPAP's in my front row because of the duel.
Well, for next year, IPAP's at the Tigers. You know, he's
Really
is
keeping
he
his jewel?
is he still as
No,
is he still
I
as
think so.
juicy at the Tigers? Does
he
he
still
just
puts in the
If
work
him and
no
I,
matter what.
if him and Appy can form a little combo, I'm pretty happy there.
yeah?
Yeah, it could be a game changer for the Tigers next
Yeah.
year.
Righto. So next week, gentlemen.
Yep, sweet as.
Just one last thing. Scotty Smith has come out and said, one suggestion is that you should lose points for pissing Cody Walker off because it's so easy to do.
Well, he is a bit of a brain snapper, and he can't help it. He can't help it. Poor Cody.
He needs Trell out there to calm him down. If you piss Trell off too, one of them is
That's
going
their
off the
problem.
field.
They're easy. They're biters, mate. Like, yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.